At Branson Technologies, a company worth over $100 million, panic filled the air. Servers were crashing, clients were furious, and deadlines were dying by the minute. The CEO, Victoria Branson, a sharp and cold perfectionist, stormed through the halls barking orders. "If we don't fix this system failure by tonight, we lose the government contract." She shouted. Engineers ran in circles, tech directors sweated over screens, and no one dared to meet her gaze. Meanwhile, in the corner of the lobby, mopping the marble floors, was a man no one ever noticed, Daniel Reed, the night janitor. He was quiet, polite, and always on time. People called him the Invisible Man. No one knew he was once a software engineer who left his career after his wife died, raising his 10-year-old daughter alone. That night, the crisis spilled over into midnight. The IT head, sweating, yelled, "We can't find the corrupted access key." The entire server's locked. Victoria slammed her fist on the table. "Do you know what a $100 million loss looks like?" she hissed. Daniel, who'd been emptying trash nearby, paused. He'd overheard enough to understand what was happening. With quiet hesitation, he stepped forward. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said softly. The room froze. A janitor speaking during an emergency. Victoria turned slowly. "What? I used to work in systems architecture," Daniel said, rubbing his hands nervously. "If the access key corrupted after a forced reboot, you might be looping the recovery script incorrectly. I can take a look, if you'd like." The room erupted in scoffs. "A janitor fixing the server? Are you serious?" one manager said. Victoria's expression was unreadable, but something about Daniel's calm tone made her pause. "You have 5 minutes, she said flatly. Daniel nodded and walked to the console. His fingers moved swiftly, confidently. He rewrote the corrupted command chain, bypassed the lock, and executed a hidden backup restoration, something none of the engineers had even thought of. Within seconds, the screens flickered green. The system came back online. All data intact. The room went silent. Then someone whispered, "He did it." Victoria stared, stunned. How did you know that?" Daniel smiled faintly. "It's a common recursive error in dual-socket systems. I designed something similar years ago." For the first time that night, the CEO had nothing to say. The next morning, word had spread through the entire company like wildfire. The janitor fixed the $100 million meltdown. The story was unbelievable. Employees whispered in hallways, engineers avoided eye contact, and the HR manager looked like she'd seen a ghost. Victoria called Daniel to her office, a top-floor glass chamber that overlooked the city skyline. He walked in, still wearing his gray janitor uniform and holding his mop handle like a walking stick. She looked up from her desk. "Sit," she said curtly. Daniel sat, humble as ever. "I reviewed the logs," she said. "You didn't just fix the server, you prevented a catastrophic data loss that even our senior team couldn't detect." "Who are you really, Mr. Reed?" Daniel smiled weakly. "Just a single dad trying to make ends meet. I used to work for Tech Nova Systems before, my wife passed away. I quit to take care of my daughter. Janitorial work gave me flexible hours." Victoria softened slightly. "You gave up your career for your family." He nodded. "She needed me more than a title did." There was silence. Then she stood, crossing her arms. "Daniel, I don't believe in luck, I believe in results. And you've given me results that no one here could deliver." He stood. "I wasn't trying to prove anything, ma'am. I just wanted to help." Victoria studied him. "You helped save this company." She reached into her drawer and handed him a folder. "You're no longer a janitor. Effective immediately, you're our new senior systems engineer. Salary triple your current pay." Daniel blinked, stunned. "Ma'am, no arguments," she interrupted. "I've made my decision." He hesitated, then smiled warmly. "Thank you. My daughter will be proud." Victoria's lips curved slightly. "Bring her in someday. I'd like to meet the reason behind your courage." Weeks passed, and Daniel became a quiet legend in the company. Employees who once ignored him now sought his advice. He redesigned core systems, trained staff, and brought an air of humility to a place that had forgotten what respect looked like. One afternoon, the CEO invited him to a board meeting. To his surprise, the board had prepared a presentation, not for him to fix, but for him to receive. Victoria stood before everyone. "Tonight, we honor a man who reminded us that brilliance doesn't wear a title. It wears character." Applause thundered. Daniel's daughter, Lily, sat in the front row, her eyes wide with pride. Victoria continued, When the company faced collapse, it wasn't an executive or a director who saved us. It was a father who never gave up, not on his daughter, and not on his purpose. She turned to Daniel. Mr. Reed, from this day forward, you are the Chief Systems Officer of Branson Technologies. Gasps filled the room. Daniel was speechless. Ma'am, I don't know what to say. Then don't, Victoria smiled. Just keep doing what you do best. As applause filled the hall, Lily ran up and hugged her father tightly. You're a hero, Dad, she whispered. He smiled, tears welling. No, sweetheart, I'm just your dad, and in that moment, surrounded by applause, flashing cameras, and stunned executives, the once invisible janitor became a symbol of something greater than success. He became proof that true worth doesn't come from where you stand, but from what you stand for.